So, okay, so we're gonna, talk about, I wanna just go over what I did, what we did one year, and who helped us, and what I have done so far. And then, why don't we add into things? So last year, where do I wanna start? Let's start with this. These are some people that I spoke to. You can add to the list. I say, let's write on the paper, let's add to the list. So, Kathy Araldi, I called her, and I also got in touch with Monty Tech about the ROTC people marching in the parade. I still have got nothing from them. This is what I got, and I got the email from them. So,
That is
I'm
on-
still waiting to hear them.
They rotate in the between the five counties.
Now, I never thought that Monty Tech ever marched in the parade.
Oh, Monty Tech.
Monty Tech, ROTC.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have no, as far as I know, because I know when Hunter was in it, I tried to get him, but, Kathy Araldi is our representative for Monty Tech, so she's helping us with that. Also, the town administrator wrote a letter to Monty Tech, so we're trying to get some of that ROTC there. Quabbin, the band, we have a big problem with music, the band, and I got the email from Quabbin. These are the two people, Tony Brown and Peter Lewis. They can't come here till 2023,
right.
so they're not coming. So,
So are they someplace else next year?
They're,
There's five.
they're going
five
to
towns.
somebody
So they
else.
do, they rotate the 5 towns in the
Yeah.
Quabbin, okay.
Yeah, so they're not, won't be able to come. We do have a honky tonk, I'm gonna write this in, piano player, okay? Which I think will add to it, but he has to be on a float, and he has to have somehow be able to, plug in his piano somewhere. You know, I don't know whether you do it in a battery, or how you do it, my husband probably could figure that out, but somebody else, I mean, I don't know. He said he would do it, we reserved him, the Golden Ages are willing to pay for him to come on a flatbed, you know, and play. I mean, he's very good, he has patriotic songs. He would add to the parade, I think. So, I gotta find out if we can make something so he can play his piano.
He's done it before, so.
But he
um,
doesn't have the equipment to, I mean, he doesn't have, what is it you call it, that you put it in a battery?
Amplifier,
or-
yeah.
Or a battery,
Some type
or
of generator?
Generator,
Yeah.
there you go, yes, he's.
So could he provide us with what he needs, and then we could find, from that, we could see if we can supply it?
Okay,
There is a
I'll call
band
him.
that we used to use, for those other 3 years.
so I also,
Every 4 years.
you did, do you have a name of that, Tom?
I don't on me, but I will get it for you.
Okay.
I'll go back in my files
All
and.
right, Tom's gonna get a name of it.
Several of them were retired music teachers out of Quabbin, and so I was always afraid that they were all going to retire. But it is an organized band, and I'll see if I can find it and see if they're still if they're still doing that.
I also got hi John, I also got an email from Ryan overseas, and he gave me a link to go on for bands, so I did. Did you write down Joe's information? I'll give it to Joe. And we've got an agenda right there, John. And this is
Good morning, I'm Bill.
Hi, Bill, John.
Okay,
John.
Joe,
okay.
Tom,
Tom.
and Sue.
Yeah.
Okay, so, this is a list of the people that are gonna be on the committee. So we're talking about the band right now. So I got this information from him, but I didn't know, I don't know what that's talking about. I didn't know if it was a gimmick. Cause I got scared. I said, what the heck, $1,900? We have $1,500 in our fund
Okay.
that we can use, okay?
Is it- And what's that budget? Is that a budget, a Memorial Day budget?
Memorial Day budget,
Okay.
yep. Jan's marching band from Worcester, that's the one I wanted to get, I thought, but anyways, if you guys wanna take a look at these quotes or whatever I got back, I'm not real sure on, anybody wants to take, I'm not real sure. They were sending me bands from like Florida, you know, all over the place, but this one, Jan, marching band.
Jan's out of Worcester?
Out of Worcester, yeah, do you know them?
I know of them, yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of sound and video stuff, I think that
So,
might be.
and they are available, I think, see the requested details that I sent? I think they said they were available.
How far did you get with them?
I just went that up, cause I didn't know if I should go further, I mean, that's them. Oh, this is Jan's too, I got two of them.
As I recall, the one that we were hiring took up $1,000 of that 1,500.
Oh, I'm sure,
So I was always looking for someone
to donate,
who would.
yeah. That is hard to find, especially today.
We're starting early enough, though, you know.
Yeah, maybe we can get some help.
Well, you have a lot of corrections officers that live in this town and this area, and they have a kiltie band. Might be something to try, they've never been out this way.
Do you have a name and a number? I'll be happy to call.
I'll talk to my son,
All right.
used to be on the, e-board.
Okay, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, would be, you know, look for free if you can.
yeah.
What was the name of that band?
The,
Kilty Good.
It's corrections officers. So I'll check with Jim and get
All right,
information.
so as
I've
much
heard of them before.
information we can get on bands, because last time we did it, we had sound systems. We had some people that, you know, Nancy, who was a musician, you know, she helped us get sound systems, so we walked down the street with boom boxes, you know, playing with all the vets on them and everything. So
Still in
that's-
the afternoon,
No,
the parade itself.
no, we're gonna have it at 11 in the morning. It seems to work better in 11, and I think you get more people. The reason why we changed it was because most people, I know myself, I wanna go in the afternoon and spend it with my family and have cookout and enjoy my family. I wanna do my thing in the morning, I wanna participate, do my thing, show my respect, and then I wanna be with the kids.
We always did that. It was always early.
Yeah.
But it was 1 o'clock, remember,
Yeah.
we changed,
No, the
you had
reason why
changed
I
it
ask
to
is
1.
sometimes later on you might be able to get the band to play another time, you know, but there again, I think it's better to start it early than
Yeah.
decided.
And we usually still will have the ice cream social, the Golden Ages, and the Council on Aging, the group of us will get together and we will have the ice cream social here after the parade. Everybody can make their own, I mean, it kinda adds to it a little bit, it makes people maybe wanna come with their kids, they can get ice cream, whatever. So the ice cream social is still on. So we're all set with that. I spoke to Joyce Green, she has the sound system, she's supposed to talk to her husband about that, and of course the Green sisters always sing Star Spangled Banner, which I kinda like, that's, to keep that the same.
And they have the sound system?
They
and-
have the sound system, yeah, yeah,
We've always had them
Yeah.
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
I think they
Like
charged us
Shane.
like
$75
$75.
for that.
So that's an in, we know that they're available.
We know that they're available,
Okay.
right. And now trumpet players, we had a hard time finding trumpet players last time we did it, but we did find, this young man, Jeremy. We paid him $100, and he agreed to do this. Now, I haven't called him yet to see if he would make that agreement, I think maybe we should. He played the background, and this young boy here, he's 11, and he's from town, and he has autism. So he played the trumpet, and Jeremy played the back, but they worked together, they practiced and everything together, so that worked out, I thought was very nice. So I don't know if he would still do it, this young boy, or not, but I will put something in the school newspaper. I've got the whole, I have to get it approved, and the last year we did a flyer like this. This is what we did last year, we can kinda, why reinvent, you know, we can do this again. If anybody wants to see the flyer I put in the school newspaper. That was the school. Or what did I do with that?
And Claudia, what are the trumpet players, what do they play besides
Taps.
Okay.
That's all they play, is taps.
And response to taps.
And the response to taps,
Yeah.
okay. Cause I talked with Ed Blanchard, and Ed has an 11-year-old son who is also practicing on
Grandson?
trumpet. Grandson, yeah. And, by all means, because he turned 78 the other day.
Yeah.
He said his grandson would be happy to do it and will be totally prepared. He's also 11 years old, but I don't, that was not his name. Is there any problem with having more than 2 trumpeters?
Well, you have to have two, you have to have one,
Yeah,
for the background and then one up front. So, I mean, we don't have to have Jeremy, I mean, we paid him $100 to come out, he was the older one, I mean, or we don't have to have this young man either.
because I know that Ed said his grandson was a definite. He
Right.
said he would do it.
What's his name?
I don't have it, but I'll supply it to you. I had it in my other notes. I didn't bring
And
those.
he's 11 years old?
Yep,
So this guy, this boy here now, Aiden, he's 13, so he would be 13. So if we could get 2 kids to play,
yeah, because I know that
they would have
Ed
to probably
said.
practice
Yeah,
together.
Ed
And
said
maybe
he-
Ed could take care of that
Yeah.
and make sure they practice together.
Yep, okay,
I'll reach out to all these, but we're gonna say Ed's grandson's a definite.
definite, yeah.
Okay, is he new with the trumpet a little bit?
He's learning, but he'll be proficient by
By then?
Memorial Day.
Okay,
There's
That's
such-
fast work.
Yeah.
okay.
I can't get by one tune, so, or one note.
So, all right, so I'll work on that as far as getting the trumpet player going. Okay, so now the speakers, I
And
have.
Claudia, I'll get back to you with Ed Blanchard's grandson's name and contact information if you'd like to have that.
Yes,
Okay.
because we need to,
Mhm.
double check. So the speakers, we have Ryan said he would speak, definitely, and he emailed me the other day and said he definitely would speak when he comes back.
You did a wonderful job the last time, 2019.
Yeah, he did a nice job.
It was obviously easier to get him to do it this time, because I had to almost blackmail him to get him
You
to
did,
do
huh?
it first.
Yeah.
Well, he was brand new in town, and, he was, but he did a great job.
He did a great
He
job.
really did.
So, and we have our state rep, Johnny Berthium, who will speak.
Okay.
He said he would speak.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So I have those 2, and I don't know, last year, oh yeah, okay.
Speaking
I'll
of
get to that.
speakers,
Yeah.
Claudia, you and I had talked about that, because we're hoping that we're gonna be dedicating the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And in addition to that, if everything goes well and a good tailwind, we will have all of the memorials in town refurbished, refinished, and repaired. And that will include a new eagle for the top of the Civil War memorial, and where Memorial Day is dedicated to all veterans. I think that whatever you wanna put together, but I would be more than happy to, if Ryan wants to talk about Veterans Day in general, or if Ryan wants to talk about Veterans Day and be involved in the dedication of the Vietnam era memorial, because of course it was his initiation that got us started on this. And that, but I believe we should also spend a little bit of time talking about the other memorials. And if you would like me to do that, I'll be happy to do it.
Okay,
And what
so-
I would talk about, if in fact Ryan's gonna talk about the Vietnam era memorial, then I would talk about the other monuments we have in town, and just paraphrase how patriotic Hubbardston has been throughout the years, and make, certain statements pertaining to statistics and, families that have been involved in so many of the conflicts and have eagerly volunteered. But I think that if you feel that that fits into the time frame,
Oh, I
you have
think
aside
that
for that.
should definitely, be included in the day, especially where we got the new Vietnam monument and everything, we should dedicate them, yeah.
They're being dedicated to that.
Yes, sir.
That day.
How do you, that seems like it would fit, doesn't it? Seem like it would fit into
Yeah,
that day?
Well,
And that's a day
why we're all
we
up
would
there.
get a lot of our townspeople will be out. And we can even kind of tell people that with the Memorial Day, we are gonna dedicate our monuments and our
And literally, we're hoping that it will be in place and that it will be shrouded. And on that day, we're going to have some Vietnam era veterans. We have 3 on our committee. We're just formulating these ideas, but it would be them that would take the shroud off of the memorial, so that people will be seeing it for the very first time in its complete fashion. So I think that having Ryan talk about the memorial if he wants to, or I'll be happy to do it, or Tom would be happy to talk about it. But not that it's gonna be the focus, but it should be part of
Part of the, yes,
because
I
it
agree.
should be a very special day because, you know, considering that it's been almost 50 years since that conflict was declared over, we're way behind the 8 ball in terms of acknowledging and honoring our Vietnam era veterans. And through a lot of dedication, we now have more than 200 names on the memorial because we did a lot of outreach, and so it's going to be both sides. It's going to have the names on it, and we're very, very pleased with where we are now. Our goal was to raise the money and have the design in by Veterans Day. We accomplished that goal, and now it's being literally made, and we hope to have it back here in plenty of time. We don't intend to put it on the common until like a week before, but then have it covered. So,
Sue, what was the name of that song? We took the flag down, we took the flag. What was it we played? No. Okay, I just thought.
so
that was-
if it's correct to coordinate
Yeah.
with Donnie and Ryan,
Yeah.
you know, I'll be happy to work that part of it if you want.
Okay, so you're gonna work with Brian and Don.
Yeah, and how would I get in touch with Donnie? I mean,
I've got some information on it.
okay, if you, I'll just tell him.
I'll get that to you.
So that we're not overlapping or, you know, saying the same
We're
thing.
gonna have a
I know-
program,
I know him
okay?
really well.
So
Good.
last year, last time we did it, we had a program. So this is what we wanna do, cause you cannot just all of a sudden have nothing to go by. You gotta know who's talking, when's talking, what's going, oh, you got a program?
Well, that was World War II program, you ever seen that?
I have not, Joe. I'm really glad you gave me that, yeah. Is that something I can have?
You could make a copy of it.
Okay.
Get it back, that was my sister's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My uncle was on that.
Oh, yeah.
Volkswagen guy, you know.
Okay.
Let's
Oh, and
make
there
a
was
copy.
one that was before that that got damaged.
Town of Hubbardston.
Yeah, that was the old
Yeah.
one.
This is World War II. Could I have a copy of
Yeah,
this?
absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful, get it right back to you.
Maybe a copy. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want
I'd
to.
like to see it.
Yeah,
I still have
So
that
why don't I make a
program
few
on my
copies?
computer, I think.
Right, so I have this
Yeah, I did.
program that John made up last year, and it showed about the speakers and how we organize the,
Wonderful, yeah.
we wanna make sure organization,
Mhm.
that's important. So, we'll change it, and we can even change the picture to put a monument or something, but John, you wanna get the final draft done?
Sure.
You worked on it last time?
Yeah.
We can give him all the information we need?
Yeah, I do have it.
Bring it in
Right.
here?
Have it in.
For the next meeting.
Maybe not the next meeting, oh, well, because I don't know if we'll have everybody organized, but we'll try.
Like you said, I'm not trying to
I'm
do
just,
anything, but
I've set
anything that you have these back up,
I have
this
three
is what
periods in
you
the
have
day
done
that
in Mashpee and
I
before.
have to sit down.
Oh, nice.
yeah, yes, copy of that.
And another thing that I had done from the time.
Oh, you had it a
That I was
couple of
passing
days?
Torch that I did it in Effingham running the program. So I came up with a preparation of procedures, and we also got a grand marshal in Victory. I came up with a brochure on how to follow, so saves you stops doing it. We got a protocol that
Yeah.
that somebody can follow. I'm not saying you
Good
gotta do
idea.
that.
You
I
want a
don't
cop?
want,
Yep.
I don't wanna influence.
No, no, no.
This is our town, and you gotta do what you wanna do, but anything that can give you any
A
guidance.
guide or an outline is great.
It's just ideas. It's not
Take your
perfect,
copy.
but it relates to town, you know.
Joe, what did you have it, 3 days?
What happened was, I guess it's tradition, and that's like, does Hubbardston have a tradition of Memorial Day? It's always been kind of a little change of this and that. I unfortunately, many years ago, I had taken over because there wasn't gonna ever be a parade in Hubbardston, and I didn't like that. So, the band was always a problem. And once in a while, we would get Quabbin band, and then we would also get a community band, I think, I wanna say, I don't know if it was out of Ashby, and they played musical music, and Jim Lockett was always
Yeah.
in charge of stuff. I don't know if you remember Jim.
I do.
And,
We'll take his back.
I gave him
And we need to have copies of this, and we need to have copies of this.
So was it
so
a
some
3-day
things,
event?
in what they had the kids involved doing the flags on the Friday. And then, I don't know, it's not a 3-day, I think it was like, they go to church together as a group, veterans in the church, we could do that. And, but it's hard to get people involved, and that's why I've been kind of doing a lot of this since '72, and I'm kind of running a tunnel where I need a break, but the guidance and feedback I can focus. I mean, you need an officer of the day, usually someone that would be in charge of that, to take the load off. Somebody that's gonna be there and direct everybody, he would be called the officer of the day. He's a lot of responsibility at the podium, and I don't know, I haven't been here, because I've always been in Ashby, so I can't compare how things have been with somebody that's usually.
Is it Tom?
Tom, yeah.
Are you gonna do it again this year, Tom, Master of Ceremonies, you would?
Sure. Yeah, so that's.
All right, so Tom's gonna do that.
This is fresh.
Yeah.
This is
I haven't
Joe's.
got this one to come out
I
right.
think that's yours, Joe.
No, that's okay, still readable and that's it.
Yeah, we
I
just
don't-
need guidance, cause
I
we got
don't wanna
homework.
take anything away from what all you guys have done, because I haven't been here.
Oh, no, Joe,
I
I've only,
appreciate
I've only done this for 2 years. I,
It's like,
She's
it's,
different when I had to drop out.
yeah, I can understand.
yeah.
It's like, this guy Fred Sweeney, it was kind of like a vet sentence, he did it all his many years in Ashby. I don't know if you ever knew Fred Van Sweeney, but
Yeah.
his son died in Vietnam. Fred, and he prepped me to do it, and I did it for 10, and kind of was getting burnt out. Veteran and Memorial Day programs, and I get stressed out now. It's not helpful for me.
No, I
It's
was,
so much better when you have a group, Joe, because if you have to do it
Well,
all
you have to have
yourself,
a few.
it's too much. I can't do it either. And, I think it's better if we can all just work together and make it be the best we can, and rather than put too much pressure on one person. I don't want to do that.
one of the, you know, for years, when I first took it over, one of the highlights of the Memorial Day program was, we had young kids out of the summer school that came and did, 3 different recitations. And they did a great job, and the teachers took charge of that. There was one teacher that ran that, and she had, tryouts, and they did great. And it was, to me, I was getting speakers, but the speakers always, every speaker that we could find, always remarked at the end of the day, God, that was great, those speakers.
Yeah, it's good to get the kids involved, it is.
But the problem was that years later, as I was getting tired myself, that just went by the wayside because the parents thought that we were putting too much pressure on the precious kids. And it would, so what we did, what I said was, okay, you can read, you can just come up and read it. Well, that lasted for a couple of years.
So we did it last time I did it, we did it. So the school, we went to the school and the school did not want to go involved, nor they believed it. So what we did was we put a letter, wherever I have it, and we put it in the school newspaper. And, you know, we had tryouts here, we had Janine Como came and listened to the kids do the speech. I have them all right here, all three of them. They were not allowed to read them, they had to know it. I think it worked out good, the kids were great. So we'll do it again this year. Janine has offered to interview the kids, and because she's not, well, she was principal, but she's not now. So she doesn't know anybody in the school, she doesn't know any of the kids, so it's fair. And you know, it's surprisingly, a lot of the kids that came were homeschooled. They were not,
So they had to memorize it.
they have to memorize it. I give them a copy,
Yeah, they
you
were
know,
homeschooled.
and they memorize it, and they did well.
It's a challenge.
But they did good, and they used to do that years ago. I'd hate to, we did it once, they
And
did it,
ask
they
them again,
practiced it with the
Claudia, 'cause
kids.
you have a new crew there, you have a new principal at the school.
Yeah, I'll
And
mention it
she-
again and I'll put it in the thing and then we'll have tryouts. So we have all the kids come in and we have tryouts. And then we call back the people we think, you know, and that are gonna be able to do it, and they gotta be able to do it without me. One little girl, her mom stood up next to her and she did great, she was just little, and she really did a
Yeah,
very
she
good
was,
job.
that was, yeah.
Very
she
good
was-
job, yeah.
I thought when I saw this little thing and walk up.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna be able to do
I had
it.
to go over and put the microphone down as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
some-
she did really, really
Some
well.
traditions don't get too old.
Yeah.
No.
And when you start talking about people not wanting to participate, they don't wanna do this and that, end up what we've ended up with in the last year or so. That's not good.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, and I think I also have a bunch of poems that we didn't read last year, but I have some if anybody wanted to, unless you've been a soldier, you know, I mean, they're very nice, we have to make Memorial Day what it is. You know, it's not a happy celebration, I don't think. I mean, it's solemn because I've lost family, you know, my sister's lost family, so we know what it's like to lose family. So you're showing them respect by honoring them, and that's what I like to keep it as. I don't wanna see flags dragged all over the ground. I don't wanna see that, you know, but, anyways, I have these in case we wanna decide if we wanna fill in some way with a poem. I got some nice poems there for you. The other thing we did was, okay, what was this one?
Claudia, you've got
This was the
Tom and I
FOTC.
down as the American Legion Auxiliary, those are usually the women, not anymore though. But,
And I don't belong.
Well, I
there,
just,
know.
you know what I did, I just went by this thing, and I
So,
thought, when Bill
is
said we
there
gotta
a
go by, I said, oh boy.
Legion or
in the Legion.
in town here at all? I know it passed, and the auxiliary is, ladies, are they still in existence, or did that?
I don't even think,
No, that's gone.
I'm still involved, I'm still a member of my,
well, what did you tell me were, American
Legion.
Legion, what are you, John?
American Legion.
62.
Yeah, American Legion, and then Legion Auxiliary. I don't know who that is.
The
Well,
auxiliary would normally be the gals involved, yeah, so just American Legion.
I mean,
okay, so,
that's probably gone by the wayside. because
John, it's too bad you
the
don't
Legion
belong to the
itself is
American
not
Legion in
funded.
Winchton.
Where?
In Winchton,
In Winchester?
do you know why?
Well, they have some great times there, you know, I have a daughter that lives there.
Yeah, they're gonna have greater times now because, they're selling a painting that was on the wall.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, name, let's see, Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
Norman
There's
Rockwell.
quite a few of those things around.
Yeah,
Gardner
Gardner High had them,
Where,
yeah.
where was that?
It was on the wall for 50 years
The Legion?
at the Legion in Winchton, and just sitting there doing nothing, and then someone came along and offered them $500 for it, and they said, because they thought it was a copy. So they said, maybe we should look into it. So they took it out to the Rockwell Museum, and they verified that it's original. It's being sold this weekend, and they anticipate raising
Oh, it's gonna be-
$4.5 to $6 million.
Right.
wow,
Isn't that
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, absolutely. That
And
is-
Gardner High had one also, and they sold it for a lot of money also, so, but, so they're gonna do a lot of things with that building up there, by the way.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
They do a lot already.
Yeah, they do.
Can you give her number and name?
Take her name, phone number, and if she wants to put a deposit down.
So I
She's
didn't
going by
realize your
herself, or
last
she can
name.
do some.
I know you're famous, because I've seen you
Okay,
on
give the two names.
TV with your car.
Names, their phone number.
Oh, you have, huh?
Oh, yeah, I love those kinds of programs.
Oh, you do, on Discovery
Back to the
Channel?
Future.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
By the way, while she's gone, do you ever watch the Christmas things on, programs that are on now? Walnut.
Specials.
Yeah. There's one coming up, I think it's going to be on Sunday. And it's a time reversal thing. And guess who's in it? Your friend.
Oh, really? Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher
I'll be
Lloyd.
down, yeah, he gets around.
Okay, guys, we have to,
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, stay on
I mean, I
track.
love the conversation,
Yeah.
but, okay,
You
so.
walked away when we figured.
I know, cause I gotta
You
leave
took
you over
advantage of
there. I know, I guess you did. So, I took it upon myself, and I'm hoping the committee will vote to say that's okay, to buy the veterans' t-shirts. I am hoping we're going to get, and I feel that we will, because we're gonna push it. We're gonna have a couple of floats for the veterans. I already know that I have people lined up for trailers and trucks to pull. The veterans, the ones that can't walk, the ones that can walk, and we'll have flags for them to give out like we did that other year. But I did have some t-shirts made up from Monty Tech. Now, I know it was a little bit of money, but I did. On the back, now if you can imagine, this is what it's gonna say on the back, but it's a black t-shirt. So the white will be black, and all of this will be outlined in white. So this is what it looks like. And Monty Tech said they would do the t-shirts for $3 a shirt.
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
It's
So-
pretty cheap.
Yes, so now I know you're gonna say, Claudia, but it came to $450 for the t-shirts. I ordered 150 of them.
For only $400.
$450, I ordered 100, and how many t-shirts did I order? 150,
150.
yeah. So, I did that, and,
Where's the $450 coming from?
well, it's either coming out of our
1,500?
1,500,
Why don't we see if we can raise that?
or maybe we can raise some money for it. I feel that the veterans feel, and if they're all dressed alike, I mean, it just looks nice, and they feel, they march. They will march if I give them a hat or a t-shirt. We had, last time, we only ordered, and we ran out. I forget how many we ordered, I have the thing here. And it was expensive then. Yeah, glasses. So I ordered 38,
38 shirts?
yeah, 38 shirts, and we ran out.
Yeah, we
I
could-
am thinking we're going to have more people this year. And the Golden Ages or somebody ended up paying for part of that, for part of the t-shirts last year, and they were $200 that we paid, and they paid 200, so they were 400. Let me just tell you. The total price of the t-shirts was $399.89, and that was 30 t-shirts, or 30, whatever I said. Yeah, so this year, we got 150.
Consider that done.
Okay.
450, Tom and I will cover it.
You'll cover it?
Yes,
I mean, you'll pay for the shirts?
yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you. So when Monty comes in with the bill, I'll just,
Yeah?
oh,
Just hand it to Tom.
I'll just.
450.
T-shirts.
$225 apiece.
Done. Okay.
Put-
Joe wants
put
that.
us down.
Okay.
Well, don't forget, I'm getting the hats.
Oh, we got hats coming too?
I go to Florida and I can find this place that sells them wholesale.
You may be the hat man. They have
Remember,
the
John, we
Dashwood
got all
job.
those hats and they were like $87.
I put family members together and we paid for that.
It was $87
They
and I
were
got them down there
about
wholesale.
$80.
They were like, I bought them like a dozen, they came like a dozen in a thing, and they were like, I don't know, what were they, John, $2 a piece or something like that,
Something
minor,
like that,
yeah, and they're nice hats.
They were nice. And-
Yeah, they're like these, only this one I got USA on me, hold on.
and They
But I
had
bought
all
some-
the different services.
We did.
Yeah.
I
So
bought
do we
some,
wanna do
and we
the
didn't have the
t-shirts
parade.
and what is it gonna cost?
Remember, I bought some and I didn't have the parade, unless you want
That's
to
what
use
they are?
these. Yeah,
And those are $2 a piece?
yeah, they were cheap, cheap.
We have the services too.
I had the services on them, all of them said Navy, Army, but last year I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get USA for all the veterans. And then they'll have their shirt, you know, but we didn't do it in the last couple of years. So I still have these left over. I think I just paid for them.
How many have you got left over?
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't have enough left over.
So what does the committee feel about that? We wanna order some and
I'll
have
go,
them
I'll buy them
available?
in Florida,
Okay.
if they're there, you know.
Does it mean something to you guys that, like my husband's a Marine, to him that means something. USA is okay, but Marine.
I'd rather
means
have the
more.
service hat.
All right, so
have-
I can do the
have
service
a-
hat, and you know what? We could,
I think we should have the various,
Branches.
you know, branches.
Okay.
Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines.
And have a supply of each?
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, so I'll buy them when I go to
Coast Guard.
Florida, and I'll bring back whatever.
Space Force.
Okay.
Do you have any
Oh, yeah.
idea how many given out in the past?
Yeah, Space
Don't forget-
Force.
I don't know, I ran out last time.
Don't forget, just in case, maybe a few that say Space Force.
Space Force,
Space
yeah.
Force.
Oh, I might not be able to find that.
I thought
What
the
is
same
it?
thing.
Well, it's a new, yeah, it's a new one, it's a new branch of the military.
Same
I'll
as
see if I can
something
find
in-
that, I don't know, I might not be able to, I'll have to get USA.
Yeah, if you can get the individual services.
Yeah.
That would be
I'll
preferable.
do that, yeah, cause I think I can do that. I mean, they did before anyway, so hopefully I'll get this.
And they were about $2 a piece?
Yeah, they were cheap. They were cheap. I can't even remember now. I don't have.
How many can you bring back with you?
As many as I want, as many as I want. How many do you want me to bring back?
What do you think, committee?
How many did you get last year?
I think we had 70 or 80, whatever, I don't remember the exact number.
Yeah? Last time we did it, when you paid for 'em, I don't remember what I got here.
Do you know how many, I know that you guys have done a lot of work as far as the veterans thing. Do you know how many fellows in town are named?
No, we don't, that's the
We
problem.
don't.
We have too many
So
Coast
we have to
Guard.
guess. We don't have them.
But we do know for the Vietnam era veterans, we have a specific list of a breakdown of services, and we have a specific list of those who served in country. So, I don't have that right in front of me, but, you know, I can supply that if you want.
Yeah, if you could just tell
Well,
me
just
about
so
how
we
many
can-
Army, how many,
And
should
That
I
would just
get?
be Vietnam era though, because we want
I
to be
was
able.
gonna say, Vietnam era though, I think you ought to invite for any Vietnam era vet can participate from this area, because, you know, that was a lousy experience for a lot of guys coming home. Terrible.
The rules of the road on these memorials now are era. And so what we have, we've got over 200 names. And that's anyone who has a tie to Hubbardston that served between a date in 1955 to 1975. And it does not require you to have been in country.
We have 56 that were in country.
56 that were in country. They looked me right in the eye because I was over there 3 times, and they, whether that was good or bad, and I said, my response was, look, if all of those other people weren't there working, that weren't in country, then all the rest of us would probably not be here today. So, you know, everybody was in that era. Now, we have a couple of people here in town who have chosen not to have their name on there because they don't feel like they were a part of that.
That was their option.
That's all.
That was
And we
their
actually
option.
followed up with all of them a second time. Yeah, yeah. Because we appealed to them and said, well, but your grandchildren are gonna look back and say, how come it's not on it? So, we do have space, we can add names to. I'll get you that breakdown today.
Yep, anytime, Bill, yep.
And I think we're gonna have you guys reach out to people. Yeah, some of them are shy.
Well, listen, we've done everything except
Yeah.
put their arms up behind the back.
And Tom, I sent you Kevin O'Connell, who lives on Hill Road. He came into the town office the other day and he had a Vietnam veterans hat on. And he wanted to be sure he was on, and I made sure he knew he was on. But I also gave you his name and phone number in case you want to reach out to him and maybe he'd like to be interviewed.
Does he live in that facility, the house?
Not really sure, 81 Hill, I know is where he is.
We used to have some of them come in there, about half a dozen that lived in there.
On Hill Road?
Yeah. I don't know what the address of the number,
Well, this is what we did in our senior news. We need to have something really nice to go in our May newsletter. And I know you're saying, well, that's not true. But it won't hurt to have something. We want to put something on the front page of the senior newsletter. We send it out to everyone, email it out, something that we
use a few
need to.
bucks, Clay, and have a contest in the school, in both high school and grammar school, and write an essay, and we'll pick one, and there'll be a prize, maybe a first, second, and third prize.
So
I would spend some of that money for that, you know, it doesn't have to be a fortune, but for $100 you could probably have a $50, $25, and a $10 one. See how
And what did you
much,
say you wanted it to
Have an essay contest.
put that down, Sue?
I think that's all.
All
Yeah,
right.
it gets kids back in the game, you know.
So I would have to get it approved by the school first. Everything has to be approved by the school. Now, whether,
John, what are you saying?
The meeting
Are
of
you
Memorial Day?
capable of doing that on your own, like reaching out to the schools, or do you want Claudia to do that?
Well, it should be the committee, I mean, I'm just.
You're on
I
the
have
committee.
been. I'm a Korean War vet. So, feel like a civil war on Sunday.
So, did you write it all down? What does he want us to say on the essay?
So, now do we want this essay because the Vietnam Memorial is being on?
No, I would say, I think you were thinking of Memorial Day in general.
Memorial Day, period.
What Memorial Day means to them?
Yeah.
It would get the kids into it too.
Yes.
And,
That's if the school
yeah.
allows that.
Do they even have a program?
They
They
used to
don't have a
have-
Christmas program.
Memorial Day program.
Memorial Day, they have a little couple of singing outside in the Veterans Room.
The Veterans Act,
That's
that's
all.
what I remember when I was a child,
Yeah.
going to school and seeing World War II vets standing on the stage.
Yeah. I mean, they used to have a really nice one in the gym, but they've changed it, so now it's outside and only the veterans can come. Or the veterans and their family, I guess.
Well,
So
can
what does
be
it take to get that?
A little bit of,
I would have to go to the school first and then I would have to get it approved.
Okay,
I'll go along with it, 'cause I think.
okay, so.
We'd
John,
have to make an appointment with the principal. Okay?
She seemed to be on the ball, you know. We'll have to do with the personnel.
Sure.
We can do that. And that can be the front page of you're saying that would be the front page, whatever they wrote on the
Yeah,
senior
why not?
newsletter, so we'll have that out, okay? You got that? Okay, Ryan had given me this, I don't really get what it is. Request for armed force participation in public events. Is that you who was telling me
Yes, ma'am.
about that? And you talked to Ryan about that?
I haven't talked to Ryan about it, but I reached out to the.
Is he back, by the way?
He'll be
No,
back in April.
April, yeah.
I reached out to my grandson-in-law who's in E7, and at the fair, there was a Mass National Guard recruiter next to us, and he knew what we were doing with Memorial, And he said, when you have the dedication, we can have a color guard there. And I said, I'm gonna hold you to that. And so I've reached out now to him and my grandson-in-law, and I said, put that in motion. And so I can't say it's gonna happen, but we've started to look into that, but a color guard, and then we would work them into the parade and then ask whatever else the color guard would do if they wanted to be around the memorial. You know, I'll be happy to follow up on that.
Do you want that?
Okay, I'll see.
Ryan sent that
So
to me.
Ryan sent this to you and said, oh yeah, this is exactly what it is, because there was one for in-country and out-of-country, this is non-aviation, but, okay. So,
Fireman squad, you guys have the fireman squad still?
So that's the
Yeah.
thing we gotta talk about.
Well, for a long time, we have a militia.
Yeah. Still have, they're still available to
Yeah,
fire.
He
Yeah,
just,
they've done it in the past.
he just wrote that on there, I don't know.
he wrote on it?
We had a-
Reimbursement
That was no trouble.
requested,
Hillary.
yeah, he wrote
I
that.
had a little group, yeah, I had a little trouble
I'll just
getting
slide it in here.
permission from the town to let them fire their weapons. But we did break through that. That had to do with this,
The old Hubbardston Minutemen, remember them?
So, I mean, I don't know, who usually fires the guns, if it's not the militia?
It's it is, well, it's a militia, but, you know, if you have a color guard, you might very well have, that might obviously, it should be, it's not just two people with flags, it's usually, you know, they usually have some, you know, rifles on their shoulders.
I'll find out the sum and substance.
Do we reach out to the, like, the auxiliary, the veterans clubs that they have here, do we reach out to them, or?
Have you in the past?
I never have.
No.
I got the poppies from them, because we have the poppies, you know, I got the poppies
We
from
don't
them.
have any military organizations in town here. You know.
That's the weak part.
Right.
So if we had the color guard, I will check into that and see what that encompasses.
Before we
If
ask
it's
the
more than
militia.
just the flag carriers, to see if they have a group that would perform the manual of arms and do the salute with the 21 gun salute, whatever they do. I'll find out what that consists of.
You have connections to the American Legion in Gardner, because they do a lot of that at the Veteran Cemetery
Okay, yeah.
in Winchton.
Yeah, I belong to the honor guard for the BMW 905, but there again, what happens, they get tied up in the mornings with their ceremonies, and you forgot. Years ago, they used to come over here to Hubbardston. 905 used to march, they used to carry the colors, they used to have the firing squad. And then things were different, things got changed, and they backed up,
When was the last time they did it, Joe?
back in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, 70s or so, this.
Do you think?
And 905 was out of Gardner? No?
If you, I was just asking, because you got the color guard, now I don't know what the color guard is all about. Maybe it could be expanded to have other young men and women who are serving now, who are around, National Guard, something that would be willing to march. How would you do that?
I'll find out what the color guard consists of and what they normally perform, and then we can build around that.
Usually have
Good.
two rifles, you have the American flag, the POW flag, and, in the post, let's
Yeah,
say if you're
right.
American Legion post, it'll be a W
Yeah.
post. it's
Mass National Guard or
Color
something.
guard. But if you could get the National Guard, I mean, they would, well, there again, it's a busy day for everybody, but
That's why I'm
it's a
working on it
special
now.
moment, if you're gonna dedicate that
That's correct.
monument,
I
on
think
that
you
day,
have a good,
you need.
I'm pushing that part of
You
it.
need to definitely push for something that you wanna have it done right, and that's
Correct.
part of it, cover that,
Yeah. So
goes
I'm more
along.
than happy to take care of that aspect of it.
There is
Okay,
one,
Bill,
there
that's you.
obviously is one that comes out to the, over here, when they bury someone at the.
In Winchton?
In Winchton. And they always had one there, so they're available to travel.
Yep.
They do a nice job.
They do it on Fridays, 9:05 and that. When they call me, but with the COVID, they cut it back to 3 shooters now. We can go out with the flags like we used to. At one time, it was just 3 shooters and a bugle. They have a bugle also.
And that's generally associated with burials.
Burials, for a long time, so,
Yeah.
but they have reached out to other communities and done programs for them. Memorial Day, pretty busy.
Yeah, do you have a contact person there?
Another commander, you have to go through the commander. Flag. It's Jordan right now. American Legion, I'm not sure who's in charge there. But the members are dying. We have it last week, at one time we had over 36 members, and now if we can muster 18 guys, we're doing really great.
So Joe, you say down here you got the flags, you order
Oh, that
flags, these are small the small flags?
That was, that's just there because a reminder of whoever takes charge. Like who, the graves, the flags for the graves, who puts them out here in town?
The scouts.
Ah, the Boy
Scouts.
Scouts.
Right, and that's been that way ever since I remember,
Right.
and it's a good thing. And that, those flags should be bought by the veteran agent that we
Okay.
have in town, is that correct? Is that
We
how
don't,
it's
I
being
don't think
done?
we have a veterans agent maybe.
Yeah, I think
As of October 1st, we don't.
the guy that did what, Westminster,
Yep, that was Sarah Wyman, and she resigned as of the 1st of October, and everything's going through Gardner now, so we have no
okay,
VSO.
so,
Used to use Westminster to the veterans agent.
They always,
Yeah,
they
that's-
had both
that's Sarah.
towns, they did
so
both.
there's,
Same gal.
so if
There's
Gardner
5
is
towns.
gonna take over, there's a budget set aside, isn't there, for Hubbardston in the town warrant I'm not familiar with how much money is in the town warrant, but there used to be money set aside for I think flags, and I don't know if that's part of that Memorial Day
Memorial Day Fund.
fund.
In the past, they
I
were,
think I think Ryan bought the flags that the veterans had to pass out.
the veterans passed out, but how about the
Badger has-
scouts?
The scouts must have done the ones for the graves.
All I know is the
don't
graves,
know.
the town is responsible
They
to
have to
purchase
ask-
flags for the graves of all veterans in town, I believe that's my
See,
crew saying that.
We'll have to ask Jamie, cause he's on the board and he's a scout, so he would know, wouldn't he, Jamie
You
Pickett?
let me know.
Would he know?
You let me know who's doing it and who's, and if not, I think as a Lion, I believe I can convince the Lions Club
To do the flags for the cemetery or for the veterans to pass out?
I don't
Ryan
think they
ordered
should
the
let
small.
the town off the hook for that.
No,
They have a budget item for that.
Yeah, and they get some money, like the veteran agent would get some money back because from what I understand how it used to work. Yeah, that used to be one of my jobs also. But they would do it like Friday, they would get, anybody that wants to help put the flags out, we have maps of all the grave sites. And here's your map, you're responsible for 25 bundles of flags, but with the Boy Scouts, it's a tradition. And you don't wanna take
It's a good
traditions
tradition.
away, you know?
And they, the
Joe,
scouts
how
still.
far back do they go? They should go to the Revolution, really,
Yeah.
in town. So there must be a cemetery somewhere that have a few of those guys.
The scouts are still here, I mean.
Yeah, that's
they-
great.
Every year at the field day, they collect all the torn flags, and they do a big ceremony up there about, putting them. So I'm pretty sure the scoutmaster's got that in tag.
And that would be Jamie?
Jamie.
And he could tell us what they have, and I'm sure this is not gonna catch them by surprise, because they've done it every year.
I kinda
So,
go back on the Memorial Day ceremony, that one time, they used to put a wreath up and then they used to go and put a poppy in and all that.
just gonna talk about
Is that still going on?
So what, yeah, so
Because
what,
That, I kinda initiated, cause that's what they used to do in Gardner, I guess, and I had to come up with a program. But like I was telling Claudia, one of the things I did make a big mistake on was, they used to start the parade here, we walk around the corner, and at one time, they used to stop, at the Korean War Memorial over here, and they used to do a small ceremony there, and then continue on, and I took that away, and I regret doing that, now that I see the big picture, I wish I never did that, cause that was something that was being done, like tradition, and I took something away for that, never do that again ever.
Yeah, it's still over there. I mean,
So-
it's-
Monuments in front of the school.
Right,
Yes.
But that was a special little thing, because they used to march here, go down, turn around, come back, and I think we used to stop before we went down, I believe, if that's correct, I don't.
Yeah, we've always, since I could been in town, we always started up at the rec field.
Yeah. Which is not a bad thing, cause you do duplication, I guess, but, and it was always a great feeling marching with people on it. VFW loved it here, they did, cause it would start from that end to here, people clap.
Right, and they
The
still.
Vietnam vets, they needed that.
Yeah, they still do that. They used to get quite a few out.
Well, we still have the wreath. Flo over here makes the wreath, cause she owns, Robinson's Florist. Every year she makes the wreath and she donates it. So then I get the poppies from one of the veterans' places, it's up on, I wanna say, is it Elm Street, there's a veterans place.
Veterans Outreach.
Yeah.
Not the outreach, I go to the VFW Legion, whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's up there by the chair on that road, and I asked them if they would give me some poppies, so they, and last time they just dropped them off. I said, oh, and then we pick a branch of each, someone from each branch to put the poppy on, and as they put the poppy on, they play their song. Somehow, we had the Golden Age singers, which sang the song as they, last time, do you remember? They sang the song as the veteran went up and put the poppy on the wreath and they came back. So I picked that day, because I never know who's gonna be here for veterans, but I picked that day, someone from each branch and give them a poppy, so that, and we set all the veterans up the front, in the front. So,
In fact, that was how, when I came to town and took over, that's what they were doing. We had a little bit of a rough time, about 10 years in, when, it's a little bit undulating up there, and we were having trouble with some of the older guys getting up there, so, we had one fall one year, and so they stopped it. I mean, they stopped doing that. So then what we did is we went to kids. We had some kids, youngsters who had family members that were, and then we just got away from it.
then we brought it back to
Yeah, we brought it
So
back.
do you just do all branches of the service?
all branches of
Because
the
all the
service.
laws, it's so many to do, and it's like, we don't wanna disrespect anybody.
No, we
No.
wanna make sure nobody gets left out. So we do every single branch. I have the list of the branches somewhere, so that I make sure that nobody gets left out.
Space,
Space one, but I don't know, do we have anybody that's in this space thing?
you have.
I can't promise I
It's
never
really
have.
started.
You have no idea.
It's 2 or 3 years old.
So they may not even be marching, you know. I'll see, if we have some,
You
we
can
won't
ask
leave them
for
out.
space.
Well, they would be, anybody would be on active duty, because they're not, well, they could be people that transferred from Air Force into the Space Force, I think.
So let's go back to the hats. Do you think we should have Claudia get 150 hats?
Why not?
And,
If they're, if they're just what we've said, which are gonna have your individual services on, then if you got leftover hats, you have them next year.
and do you want
These we could sell. Maybe we
the
could
three of
sell
us
them
to
that day.
handle initial costs? Joe's willing to do the, help out, so. okay, the three of us, we'll handle that, whatever costs involved.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
Are you sure, guys?
yep, so I'd say I'd rather have more than not enough.
I wanna
You said
make
you ran out,
sure.
so,
Yeah,
mhm.
I wanna make sure we have enough.
Need the money up front?
No, I'll just buy them and then when I get home, cause I don't know how many I'll find, I'll be able to get. And you know, with COVID, they may have shut the damn place down. Cause it's a huge, huge flea market, and they have a whole wholesale section, it's all
Mhm.
wholesale. So I go in there, and that's where I got them,
Okay.
so we'll see. Okay, so, is there anything else anybody would like to bring up? Now, I just wanted to tell you, one last thing here. So, as far as who is gonna be marching in this parade, we got the militia, we got the singers, I think are gonna be on a float and sing, the senior singers, you know, they like to do that, so we can have them with it. The Golden Ages likes to be represented, and so doesn't the Friends, so they'll all have a float of some sort decorated. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and of course then we're gonna have the fire, and the police, and who else?
Of the, Tractor Association, with, Green Family.
And tractors, I'll get back to you with the Lions Club wants to march in that.
Oh, I hope so. They usually do a float, right?
God bless you.
That's allergies, guys.
Is it Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, are they involved in all?
Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, yeah, I don't know. Yep, I don't, we can see, I mean, anybody can march, and then we'll have the horses. From,
How about a Grand Marshal?
who will be the Grand Marshal?
Should be a Vietnam veteran.
Vietnam veteran. Do we have someone in mind?
Yeah, we did.
Tom, you're gonna be the Grand Marshal?
Again,
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
That's a voted.
yeah, let's, make a motion on that.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion that, we have Tom Collier as the Grand Marshal for, Vietnam, for the Memorial Day ceremonies.
and I
Okay,
second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Thank you, Tom. You've been volunteered again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if, you.
Now, that means you lead the parade, right, young man?
I guess so,
Yeah.
sure.
Can you walk, Tom, or do you need a ride? I mean, do we need to get an old car, or do we need to do, I
I'll,
mean, because you said you
we
had a,
have used
you
cars
said you
and
had a bad,
I'll be walking around.
okay,
If you're not, we can get a car, right?
Yeah.
right, we can get an
We'll,
old, an old.
we can use, we'll use Doc Brown's 1949 Packard convertible. How's that sound?
I like that.
Yeah, now he doesn't wanna walk anymore.
Oh,
But
let's-
you have to dress up like Doc Brown.
Who is Doc Brown?
It's Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I have his car.
I have to start growing
That's
the beard
right.
now.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
so we have the horses from the stables, Blanchard Stables.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did it, the Jay and I was giggling and laughing.
Yeah, right in the little old Hubbard's.
So anything, anybody else you think we ought to contact for marching in the parade? We're gonna have our ROTC people, hopefully, the school should be, Kathy Araldi should be getting back to me
Any
for
other
this.
veteran groups that you guys gonna put any kind of invite to them to the
Well,
We always have.
yeah.
dedication?
Yeah, how do we reach out to, I mean, I'll go to the outreach center uptown in Gardner, make sure they're fully aware of it, invite them to come. Be happy to do that. And who else, in terms of other veteran organizations, should we be in touch with, Joe?
problem is Memorial Day,
They're all busy, yeah.
They're all-
That's it.
They're all busy.
Well, they might, this is a special
Special.
Memorial Day, because
For
we
the
are doing
Vietnam
that
era.
dedication. So I think that in itself will
I
help us
think
to.
if we just, get that into the social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the VA down in Worcester? Do they have a representative or no? That's probably
Where?
nothing. The
Worcester.
VA in Worcester? What about them?
I doubt it, those are all paid people there, they're in transition
To
now, they're
represent
going
us
to
and all.
UMass shortly.
Are they closing the Grove Street? The one on Grove Street, they closing that?
No, we're talking about the VA itself.
Oh, the VA itself, okay.
They're on Lincoln Street right now.
Okay.
to move it to the VA the campus at
UMass.
UMass, yeah.
Alright, well, if we think of any more, then we have to make sure we make our list, so we know, then we can organize everybody as they come in. That's one thing we need now, Jim Berthume, and I never got the address to get him, I mean, I wrote this 2 years ago, and I thanking him, and I think most everybody got a note thanking everybody for all they did. But he did the lineup last time, but I tried to call him and I didn't get through, and I left a message.
He's a
So maybe he's not interested in that, but he's a little bit disorganized as far as lining everybody up. But that's only because I was trying to make it a little bit more organized and.
Come up with a list how you, veterans come first. You know, you're gonna have your colors leading the parade, I would say,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
you know,
And then the Grand Marshal.
well, the Grand Marshal would be leading.
Grand Marshal, okay,
Who's the Grand Marshal?
Tom. We just voted on that. Okay, so he would be first, who would be second?
Color guard.
Color guards.
We usually have the veterans behind them.
Okay, so if we have two floats, or whatever, and they'll be walking, some walk, some will walk.
Combination of both, wouldn't it be?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Offer them the option.
yeah, if they can't walk, they can,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
Gary Candace will be there with his whole board.
Now, he's not a veteran, right?
No, but he has two
Has two
siblings
brothers.
that were veterans, Vietnam veterans. Nancy. Yeah.
He always is there to take anybody that can, any veteran that can.
But you're bringing up a very good point, and that is a very integral part of the organization of where they're gonna be.
I believe that is.
So we need to have really a strong person there that's
Yes.
gonna have a list, and because I know
Yes.
when I've shown up just to be in the parade of a, you know, so, do you think that the rec field is large enough that we can do the organization there? If not, I'll be happy to talk with our daughter Kellyanne, because right next to the rec field, you have Go Green, and that's another large parking lot, so we could have an overflow there. So, but it's gonna be important for each group when they show up, and
To
where am I
know
gonna
where
be?
they're gonna go.
Yeah,
Because that was the biggest complaint, because we had people,
That's what
and the
we-
drivers of the trucks with the floats are like, what, I'm in the middle of the road, I can't. So, the only thing I was thinking is if we use the rec field itself, you know, can you drive around the walking path, are they big enough to drive around?
you can certainly
we start
drive vehicles
around?
up onto the field itself, you
Yeah,
can certainly
drive
do that.
Yeah, so maybe we'd have to, but that's something we're gonna have to organize.
When I said veterans, how about the Vietnam
I-
veterans? Behind the colored guys, Vietnam vets, ahead of the other veterans.
I personally like that idea, but we don't wanna exclude anybody,
No,
because you could do it.
Memorial Day, you're incorporating two programs into one, so.
Mhm.
I think we made a banner too, didn't we make a banner, John? Didn't we make a banner? We had a banner that we
Did what?
made special for the,
Out front of the.
yeah, where is that banner?
I have no idea.
We had it made up, and the veterans, two veterans in the front marched in front of them with the banner.
And was it a banner that said all veterans, so it
I can't remember now. No, it's not only Hubbardston, because we take vets from anywhere, we don't care where they're from. We bring, right, we don't care where they're from.
So would you
We're
want a
honoring,
banner that says
I
Vietnam
have,
veterans?
I'm gonna look for that, I'm gonna look for the
Yeah,
banner.
maybe, one general banner might be.
It was a general banner,
Because that way people that are there and on the side know what these guys and gals represent, you know, so. And if
Yes.
not, banners, they're wicked cheap. I mean, the one we have on the common now, it's 10 feet long, it was under $100. So, I mean,
we had this one made, and it was
Yeah.
really nice.
yeah, you can locate it.
I don't recall, Tony, but I know that we did have one out in front of the people. The trucks, first, the people that were walking, then the truck, with the veterans on it.
Well, I know,
There was a banner out front.
in relative to this whole discussion,
So what's next?
music, we were having trouble at the end because we had so many different people that
Yeah.
we were running out of room. You know, we had people falling off over into,
So that's an extremely good point, because we have to have a start and a finish. So we really also need someone on the common that's gonna be saying, okay, as they're coming off the road, you know, there's some, for example, say, well, I'm done, because they have old cars or something like that. And then there are others that wanna be part of the ceremony, so we need to have an organizer at that end say, and we need to have a plan of where we're gonna put them.
Some guys have to
Yeah.
match up to the car.
Yeah, most of the,
Somewhere on the road or.
Yeah, in the past, where we left them on Main Street.
most of the floats, they go down and,
They came right up, some of them go right up because they wanna see. They wanna see all the veterans floats, everybody right up there in the parking lot because they wanna get off. They have a special place for the singers to sit, a special place for the veterans. And then they have another spot for
It must have been kind of vaping.
So
seniors.
what happened there? That seems like that was a bottleneck.
Because-
So what did we do?
The last parade, I walked the whole parade, and then I ran ahead and got up front, and then, well, I'm not really great, but I mean, I told the veterans where they were to go, and the singers, they're gonna go over here. Because the Boy Scouts I had made a little diagram as where we wanted all the chairs. So, but I really should have had someone there. We didn't plan it, it was just that I thought I gotta get up there, cause nobody knows where we're going. You know, no veterans
So
know where
that's
they're
a
sitting.
weak spot, so we
That's
gotta
a weak
really
spot.
work on that
Yeah.
in terms of picking somebody who has a schematic, who knows, not precisely, but in the general area where,
there are chairs in the church. There's two kinds of chairs, and they won't let you use all of them. It's the older ones that we got, so we have to get a hold of, the woman I used works in the cafeteria here in the school.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is, what her name.
And she used to give me the key. And I would go up the day before and, you know, if we're gonna have we used to take your,
Podium, it's out in the, that thing gets thrown around so much, it's out in the shed now, and it's, I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to use it, but it's in there. I got it.
there is a podium that I used to go pick up and put it in the church so that we could bring it out that day. And then the scouts used to come up, and they used to come up early, and they used to go in the church and bring all the chairs up. And we would put a bunch behind the podium, you know, behind that. And those are the ones for the veterans that were up there.
And line of
We
chairs
put like
too.
5 just,
On the left-hand
And then
side,
on the
facing
left
the
side, the rest of them we put on the left for people who needed to sit down. For any dignitaries or, you know, people who would be speaking.
were there enough, Tom, enough chairs?
Yeah, we never really had,
still people standing.
people were standing,
Yeah.
and another thing we need to get,
yeah, the preponderance of the people were all standing. Because
So do you think we have a sufficient number of chairs? It's a minor detail, but it's an important detail
We
because
have
our
these.
veteran population is,
What about the blue ones, the old blue ones? You
Gone.
think They're gone?
but and
but
another
folding
thing that
chairs
we
are gonna
need,
be much easier to.
Yes.
we need folding chairs.
Well, the
Yeah.
riding gun club, could anybody ask the riding
Riding gun club, yeah, we could talk
Yes,
about
for
that.
day.
we might have a problem. The other thing is, how about a porta potty? You've got seniors up there, I hate to tell you, when they gotta go, they gotta go. I mean, we should have something, because this church will not allow us to use their bathroom, right? No, we're not allowed to use the bathroom in the church.
Never had one before?
We got a porta potty last time we did, the last one we did,
Then
we
we
got a
have to
porta
have one.
potty.
We never had one in a couple of years, I
Yeah.
think.
No, but you know
And
why?
I didn't
'Cause-
see anybody squatting on
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna tell you, because
Yeah,
I
it's probably-
am, work with the
Yeah,
seniors,
Probably
that
not
was a
bad
trouble.
idea for this.
In fact, Bonnie Cunningham's husband,
Yeah.
Rich Cunningham,
Yeah.
was one of them. There was some issues, they don't wanna broadcast it. they're old, and we don't wanna tell them, but they'll
So
throw them
you've
in.
had a porta potty, where did you place it?
I don't know where we put that now, I can't remember, probably up by the church maybe, or in the parking lot.
At what point do we infringe upon the church's domain or territory? At what point?
Well, we're on the church's territory for a lot of it, although the town owns most of that.
I thought so, I wonder, yeah. So we could
That's
place
never
it,
been-
I think we should,
That's never been an issue.
as far as placement of anything, okay, but I think we should have a porta potty.
One time they used to open up the school, they used to allow you to go in the bathroom over there, but that didn't happen.
No,
They
that-
can't make it from the common.
Really? No, it's probably not a bad idea, but there again, it's more money.
But you know what,
Put it on the budget.
put it on the budget, and you
Yeah.
know what, we'll all step in if we have to, I just think it's better. And maybe the
Yeah.
Golden Ages would pay for it, or the Friends, or somebody, we could maybe.
Like you said,
Okay, so who
to the
comes
veterans
after?
budget, there's money set aside for veterans stuff.
Town,
And maybe
Hubbardson
veterans-
Town, veterans.
Okay, so who comes after the music? Let's see, who comes after music? Does anybody know? So it's the Grand Marshal, the color guards, the veterans, the music,
Yeah, you need
and then
music
Boy
because
Scouts and Girls?
You wanna try to keep people.
A lot
going
awake.
to the step.
Yeah, if you had somebody that played military music, yeah, they definitely wanna be in back.
Yeah, if we can get a band, yes, if
And
not,
then from there back, usually they ran the kids, the
Boy
Boy
Scouts.
Scouts, any, sports teams, I guess, sometimes we saw.
Yeah, we had baseball, cause that's the season, yeah.
Yeah, and then,
Clubs
and then
in town.
and then you have your all your big things.
so
The
you're gonna
floats.
do the floats?
Floats are all coming down.
So you wanna separate the floats though? You
I
wanna-
think that's a
And
good
then-
idea.
And
So
then
you
you're
got
going
the-
to have a bunch of cars.
Bunch of cars, yeah.
And a bunch of big ornament trucks.
So cars at the end,
They're in
cars
town,
kinda at the
They
end?
like to bring them out.
So they should be kinda in back, so everybody doesn't.
Yeah, they're at the end of the, they're
Where's
kind
the
of at
horses
end.
fall in
The
place?
very end, you've got,
Horses.
The fire truck should be at the end, right?
Mhm.
what?
Fire truck,
Usually, 'cause
Fire truck last.
yeah.
Yeah, the fire truck has to be the very last, because they may
They're
have to
loud.
break off.
Yeah.
You don't want them to go in your parade.
And do we have a police car that goes in there?
Sometimes you guys don't have a police car lead the parade.
Actually, the car that leads the parade, led the parade most of the time was Kangas. He kind of went down, and we let him have a pretty good
He's been,
separation.
he's been sick. He has had cancer and he's had a few.
Clean bill of health.
He's
Has he got a
clean
clean bill
bill
now?
of
He has a clean
Oh,
bill.
good, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I was with him just a couple of days
Yeah.
ago.
so we're gonna put him down just in case either the police or Gary to do the leader, or do we wanna do that?
Well, would we have, is that kind of before the Grand Marshal, you'd have somebody like, okay.
He just kind of goes down,
Okay.
and
Let
takes somebody.
Everybody knows it's coming,
Yeah.
parade's coming.
All right.
And if we have more than one musical group, we should separate them.
Yes.
So they're not, one right after the other.
Put the marching band up front.
Mhm.
Whatever other groups.
Marching up front?
Well, the marching band should be up front, wherever the
Okay, yeah, that's what I got, behind the veterans.
And what other groups did you mention on the other?
We have the
page?
Golden Ages, we have the Friends.
And they'll be on a float?
They'll be on a
Yeah,
float.
okay.
And the Friends, and, the COA, I'm not sure what we're gonna do, if they wanna do that, or if they'll be included with these others. You know, the singers will have a little float, and they'll have music.
Yeah, so we'll
they'll have
separate
music,
them.
yeah, they'll have some kind of music, and they'll be all patriotic songs. So maybe they wanna go in front of the cars. So you'll have one, two, three floats, I think. and then the veterans, and the two appeal for veterans.
And the 5 floats will have, people that are gonna supply the floats and the tractors to
They'll
pull the
get,
floats.
yep,
and-
they'll take care of that, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. If you know anybody that has a trailer or a truck that's would be willing to do that, my husband did it last year, or the other year, he did one. My brother did one, and my nephew did one, and then Scott up here had a trailer that he left at the church up here, he let us use his trailer. You know, so we just go out and beg for trailers and trucks, you know, for anybody to, and we decorate them, you know, we decorate them, so. We have them here the night before so they can all be decorated in the morning.
And that part of it,
And they have
the
this
folks
done
can
here.
take care of.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
If there ends up being a shortage and we need one extra one, got a truck and a trailer, an open trail that we carry some things around in, it's 12 foot, it's not the biggest one, but
Okay.
as a resort. Because I figured that I'll have our son Patrick driving the Packard that day, so.
So-
Correct me if I'm wrong, it appears that the two potentially weakest points are organization at the rec field to get them all set up, and then the setup on the field itself. So that's something we really have to work on to find people who are gonna be willing to be demonstrative enough. As soon as somebody comes, hi, who you with, so on and so forth, this is where you're gonna be.
The list, yeah.
Do we have to get special permission to literally physically use the rec field itself, from the town?
We should go through.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll, almost automatic.
And that might be, I think that gives us plenty of room. And, you know, the one entrance that we come in is at the,
Main entrance.
yeah, well, it could come through the center,
Yeah.
but coming up on where the bushes are on the right-hand side, if I'm standing on it looking on the left-hand side, that entrance, Old Green being beyond it, if they came up there and they could really organize that way, then they could come out the front entrance. What do you think? Yeah, that way, that gives you, that's the size of 3 football fields, so that should be plenty, but, so one of the things we have to work on, I think, is having the organizer there and having a schematic set up, and then the same thing on the
As long as they have the list as to who's gonna be, that's why we have to find out, they could commit, who's gonna be in.
You can always change as long as you have a set guideline.
Guideline.
Something to go
Right,
with.
right, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's confusion.
So it is, cause they'll be coming out, and you have to have a time, when do you want it, parade starts at 11, you want them to come at 10 to start lining up?
That's a good time.
That gives you an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and everybody interacts while you're up there and you chat and so on and so forth, and it's that kind of a day where,
Yeah.
people are laid back and they know what they're there for, and rather than trying to get
And
everybody
we're
there at 10:30.
gonna get a hold of the car clubs. A lot of the car people are, I mean, Raj, you know.
What
and-
car club is that?
Well, I don't know how, you know, we have a lot of clubs. around.
Yeah, Tyrod.
Yeah, that's one, yeah. And Raj hasn't, my husband has the name of it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so we could make up some kind of a flyer, mail it out,
Yeah.
if you want.
Better
Capture
now.
them now.
Yeah, so if we make up a flyer, some sort of a flyer inviting these people to attend our Memorial Day parade, why? We're gonna honor dedicate our Veterans Monument, our Vietnam Monument that day, and, you know, tell them what we have, possibly we can get.
Another incentive for
cars,
them to come.
Right. And if they're driving a car and they're veteran, of course they get a t-shirt. So we need
General idea
to
of
draft
what we
some
need,
sort of.
Now we gotta get down to specifics.
I can tell you that ever since the masks came off, things opened up. And you know, Andrea, her business is a business, her knitting yarns business. It's really one that goes to festivals. we go a lot of other places, but that's where she makes her money. And those were all canceled, just gone for, almost 2 years now.
So people are anxious to get out there.
Oh my God, you know, we go and Andrea says, well, we don't need to take all this stuff because, you know, the people are still, and I keep telling her, no. And man, I tell you, we have been so mobbed. I mean, just, absolutely mobbed. And we were, when I re-injured my foot here recently, we were looking at not going to one down at the McGee this weekend. And all of a sudden, Andrea starts getting emails from her customers saying, I hope you guys are still gonna be there. And so,
Claudia, do we need, what do you recommend for a next meeting?
Yes,
Should
that's what I
we
was gonna
have-
say, we need our calendar to see when, so you're leaving in November.
We are on the 27th of November and back on the 16th of December.
16, okay, so we should have, do we wanna have it after the holidays? Or
When do
think-
you head out?
Hopefully, we're gonna head out January,
Yeah,
so the last week of January would probably be.
okay.
So, what do you think? Do we need a meeting in December and January? Or do we think January is good?
John?
I think so.
What?
You said to the end.
Should we have a meeting in December and January, or just January?
Yeah.
Both months to get a little, so everything we do, make sure everybody, okay, so December,
Week
what?
before Christmas. When is,
Christmas is on Saturday the 25th.
so we get back, what's the Saturday before Christmas? The 19th?
It's the 18th.
Okay, so not being selfish, but that week before Christmas, anytime I would make myself available.
So like the 21st?
That would be fine.
Second, what do you think?
that's Tuesday. 21st is Tuesday.
Oh, 21st is a Tuesday. Do you wanna keep it on a Wednesday?
It's easiest for you here, Wednesday.
Oh, can't do it on the 22nd.
Yeah, that's a big,
So we have the singers on the 21st. But we could, oh, we could do it in the morning. Is 11 o'clock still good for everybody? So it's
Fine,
the 21st of December. 11 a.m. Tuesday, yeah. And, wanna just, oh, do we have January? Do we have January? Right here, do we have January? No, we have to have 22 for January. I don't have a calendar for 22, do we?
No, you haven't ordered one yet.
Right here.
You got it, Joe? Joe's got it. Okay, so in January, all right, so, do you wanna have it like on the 11th? That's a Tuesday. January 11th,
Let me look at that January 11th.
okay. Good for everybody? And we'll keep the 11 o'clock, okay? All right, so we got 2 more meetings. Now, does everybody know what they're supposed to do?
I know I have some assignments. I'll be getting back to you, Claudia,
Okay.
my responses.
And Joe, do you have anything else you think that we should be doing before the next meeting, or you think we just,
You guys got a pretty good handle on it. It's just, what I see a little bit, it might be a little challenging is incorporating both programs together, but it makes sense, you're gonna get the most people that day.
It's your,
yeah,
That's your side, program gets set up.
Bill's gonna work on that.
And I'd like to,
It's Memorial Day, you gotta honor, that's why we're there for Memorial Day.
Right.
how
It's
long
an
do you
addition
think?
to the dedication.
Joe, what do you think as far as the length of the program? At what point do we lose people with having other places to go? Generally, how long is the parade?
I think, the parade, I think that the dedication thing should not go any more than, should it go any more than an hour? That would be
That would be too much.
as far as the speakers and singers and.
Yeah.
Very long, when you, like, there's things that you may wanna say,
Can't have it too
Too
long-winded,
long is-
people will get.
well, it's just, I don't know.
I think you gotta have it short and to the point.
Yeah,
You know,
and yet we have a dual purpose here.
Right.
And we've got a rep that wants to talk, we got Ryan that wants to talk, and I think it's very important that we cover the Vietnam.
Yes.
And the other memorials, because that encompasses all the veterans, and that's what we wanna say, that we're honoring them because we refurbished all those things, and we want people to take time to go and look at them, because there are the names again, and please remember. So, but I also concur that there's a attention span, and people are gonna be thinking, so that's why I asked
Kids are
first,
gonna
how
get
long
bored.
how long has the parade been in the past? Half an hour?
From start to
As long
finish?
as it takes to walk
Start to
down
finish.
from. Which is-
Start-
All depends on how many you have,
Right.
yeah.
Not from start to finish, right? From the walking down and the service at the thing you want?
No, I'm talking about just the
Just
parade
the
aspect
parade?
of it, yeah. Is that a half an hour?
45 minutes.
45 minutes, okay, and this one might be a little bigger than a few others. So if we figure that as 45 minutes to an hour, we still gonna have an hour to do the services and do the dedication, so that's a total, let's say, 2 hours. Is that reasonable, do you think, that we can keep people's attention?
1 o'clock.
Yeah, I certainly do.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get them there.
And if they wanna leave, they can leave.
They're not gonna.
I just see.
We'll just point at them if they.
You know, the issue of the other work on the rest of the monuments doesn't have to be, you know, come over here and look at this now. It's just tell them what it is, and then invite them.
And tell them to go look.
When it's done, please go look.
I would say I want to tell them what we did
Right.
and why we did it, and then why Hubbardston has been patriotic from day one. And because we marched on Worcester early on, but I'm a retired history teacher, I'm sorry, can't help it. Also, my initials are BS, but I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes. And then I'll coordinate with the other two.
That's because it was Shays Rebellion, that wasn't spelled the same way.
That's correct, yeah. So I'll coordinate with Ryan and with the representative and say, we have approximately X amount of time to talk, so plan accordingly. I'd like
And
to
we
get.
had we usually have, oh, no, you can't.
You wanna see all my secret dates?
Do we have
There
a
you go.
minister, do we wanna have a minister with an open prayer, or do we just wanna do it? Last time we had someone do it, and it was a bit long. It was a little bit too much.
Right.
We
You
tell
know,
them
you
to
don't
keep it
wanna,
under a minute.
you don't wanna have it too, you just wanna have a small prayer, or small, something to open the thing,
Well,
don't you, or no?
The pastor, whoever does it, it's just gotta be told,
He has a
keep it
minute.
Mm-hmm.
to 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or
He
not
doesn't
even
know
five-
what
5
he's
minutes
supposed
is a
to be
long time.
doing,
Mhm.
especially, I'm talking about the last fellow,
Oh, yeah,
fairly
that-
new at it.
Yeah, that was,
Is that sort of like a benediction, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's.
it's like
So
an
we
opening
used to
prayer,
have an
do they
opening
do an
prayer
opening
and a
prayer thing,
benediction.
Joe?
Yeah.
So couldn't anybody do
Invocation,
that?
Invocation, yeah.
They had Gary Hackler, and I know he probably wasn't too short
Yeah.
years ago for this one.
Mhm. What I'd like to get, if it's okay with everybody, is a photo of the group, because I think we need to begin to push this, so I would post the photo on our Vietnam Facebook page and say that the Memorial Day Committee has met, and we're going to put together a great program, and it will include the dedication. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep,
Okay? Would you take our picture,
young man.
young man?